In this video, I will see if I can help you figure out how to straighten a wall. It's not uncommon to come to a concrete foundation and have irregularities in it, especially in an existing home. You might have the corner of the foundation might be sinking down, which is kind of what I got here. And of course, it usually creates a problem at the top also. You can see right there. So a lot of times if the foundation is off, the top of the wall framing is going to be off also. The first thing you will need to do will be to create some type of a straight line, something that is level, and to have it run all the way across the length of the wall, not just in the area you're going to be working on. And then we're going to use this line to create measurements. You're just going to measure from each individual stud. It's not uncommon, like I said, if you have a dip somewhere here, you're going to probably have it in other areas of the wall. So you can use this to check that out, because some of these might need to be raised also. So let's go ahead and take a look. I put a pretty big dip in here, of course, and it is going to be, if you measure back, you're going to find a constant, something with the same measurement. This will be the measurement that you will use to adjust the sag or the dip in the foundation. Let's go ahead and bring up the numbers here. I have 2 foot 11 3/4. That's the standard. And if I subtract that from these measurements, then this is going to provide me with the measurements that I will need to raise the wall. And of course, we'll use that later on to figure out our shims. Kind of wanted to give you an idea here, not to think that I'm measuring from this section here. I am measuring from here. And you might even be better to measure from here. If you have a sag where it's dipping, not going to be uncommon. If it's a steep slope, you might have to actually angle the bottom of the stud, or cut your pieces that you're going to use later to fill. They might actually have to be angled. So it might be better to take it from the short point and not the long point, your measurements. Hope that makes sense. And again, just kind of wanted to give you an idea of the top. I'm measuring from here down to the bottom. So again, straight line, get your measurements, and then of course check the rest of the wall also. Next up on the list will be to install a few jacks with some 4x4s or 2x4s nailed together, whatever you think you will need to straighten out the wall. Now, don't be confused. It's not uncommon to have wood that is warped and you're not going to be able to straighten it out. If that's the case, then you're going to need to replace the damaged wall framing plate. So again, over the years, something sagging down. If this is new construction, it's not going to be a problem. If it's something that's been around for 10 years or longer, there's a good chance that this stuff, it'll be difficult to move it. And when I say move it, if you have a sag something like this, you might actually be able to just cut the framing plates, make the adjustment, and then put a strap across here also. And again, this type of repair might need to be done without the exterior or the interior materials. If you have drywall on the inside or plaster, it might need to be removed. If you have stucco or siding on the outside, that might need to be removed also, so that you can actually move the wall. So you're simply going to raise it up the desired height that we have for what we figured out here, and then we will put a spacer underneath it, and there it is, nice and straight. It always looks nice on the computer. Might not look this way on your type of repair, so let's not get carried away and think that we're going to be able to get this thing perfect, but definitely better. After we have the wall, after the top plate has been raised, we can simply install some plywood or something. I don't recommend using, I wowould like to say, if you use a 1x4, you might need to drill some type of a pilot hole, because it could crack. I'd rather use plywood for something like this. And you can get plywood in different measurements, whatever you need it. And you could always rip the plywood down also to make it fit. And maybe just use some screws to screw everything together. Put the screws in. use a board to screw it in here. Now, if a 2x4 is going to work here, go for it. You know, only concern I would have would be splitting it. You do not want to drive some nails in or use some screws and then end up splitting the wood. That's not going to help you out here. And that is it for the repair. Hopefully it straightens everything out, or at least it gets it a little better. And remember, if you get something within 1/4 of an inch, you could always use some type of plywood, cardboard, shims or something like that they use for straightening walls to straighten the rest of it also. So anyway, I hope this video helps. And if it does, you know what to do. Hit the old thumbs up button, and it is off to the next video.